Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. Hello there, my darlings. Are you haunted today? Because I am. It has been a day. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad that you're here. Today is June 11th. We're almost at the end of the, I mean, almost at the middle. Wherever we are, we're almost there. Can you believe it? Hello and welcome. I saw a couple. Hi there, my darlings. We're going to give it a couple of minutes and let everybody come in. I want to thank you and say hello to my mods. Hello, my darlings. Hello to True Oracle. Thank you for being here. Hello, my darlings. Let me see. There was a little chat or a little message back here that I wanted to say hello. Let me get there. I'm getting. Well, maybe I missed it. Hello. Oh, here we are. Everyone say hello to Chopkins. Look at that little sweetheart. This is her first chat on YouTube. Welcome to the community. Welcome here. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. And look at this, Creative Snapper. I'm so happy to be a member of this community. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you too. I got to tell you something kind of funny today. And Captain Jerry and I kind of snickered about it. We kind of laughed. So I know, thank you, my darlings. Thank you. Listen, it is raining. It is a wild hair day. Excuse me, sir. I have a four-legged sir here ready to help. He has been my constant companion. Anyway, thank you so much, my darlings, for being here. Anyway, Captain Jerry and I had a little snicker today. And let me give you a little backstory. Hello, my darling. Bless you. Hello. I saw you a little earlier, and I'm going to tell a little story. As soon as I can get this man, he's just walking in front of me now. Okay. So earlier, I was watching One Turtle Boy live because you know what? I'm kind of nosy. I want to know what's going on. That's Shaggy. Come on, son. This is, remember how Sam used to be on this shoulder? Well, this guy's on this one. We may as well leave him there. He's going to fight me until he gets there anyway. Unless he eats my hair, which he's trying to. No. And he's purring. So anyway, you're so welcome. Good. So anyway, I was watching. Sammy was his mommy. Sammy was the mother of all living. There we are. So thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Shaggy Noodle is here. He's ready. And don't forget, you want to stay till the end because I'm going to try to. I've got some cameras. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I'm going to do my best to give you a little lash tutorial and maybe a few other little pointers. But it's been a day because it's been raining all day and nasty. And I was going to wear my hair down. Look at this. Already. I was going to wear my hair down. And it just wasn't having it. So up it goes again. So thank you so much for True Oracle and all my mods being here. But I'm going to tell you a little kind of I have to snicker. So I know that all of you remember our last live stream where I came in here and just basically was saying, look, play nice, be nice, don't do anything, don't say anything. You know, you're all allowed to have your opinion, but don't be rude about it. Don't be nasty. Don't be call names. Don't expect me to not like somebody just because you don't. And don't forget whose stream you're in. But I say that across the board. No bullying, no nastiness. You can have your opinion. Just do your, just do your thing. Treat people nice, right? So I was watching one turtle boy today at his bus stop. And I'm doing a few things and I'm listening because you know what? I'm going to give him some credit here. Not everybody likes him. And sometimes he can be a little rough around the edges. We all know that. That's not talking about him. But he's doing really good. And I'm really proud of him for how he has really, really hung in here. Because think about it. Think about everything that he has been through, other than the C word. He's his own entity. And I'll tell you what, sometimes he gets going and I just have to laugh, right? Because you can't blame him. So I was in there today and I'm really proud. I'm listening to all this. And then somebody pops in right before the end and says, oh, Lady Zelda banned me from her channel because I don't like Nan. No, Heather. You got banned from this channel because you were nasty. You were rude. And you wouldn't listen. Imagine being banned from a channel right after somebody says, I appreciate you. You guys are the best chat on YouTube. And I love you all so much. And please just be kind. And then boom, somebody gets mad because they expect me to like who they don't like or not like who they don't like, or they can just come in here and open up the door and be given their opinions. Now, everybody has their opinions, and some in here do too, and that's okay. Just be nice. Just be nice. I have my opinions about things, but you don't see me going in and causing a ruckus in the chat. I won't do it. It's disrespectful, not only to the person, but especially to yourself. Imagine. And you know what? I was so proud because Turtle Boy says, yeah, okay, I got to go. See you later. He did not buy into it. And you know what? Bravo, Turtle Boy, Daddy, Turtle, Daddy, Aiden, Uncle, Daddy, whatever, Dr. Daddy, Uncle. I just don't like bullying. That's it. And if she thought that I banned her because she didn't like a person that came into the chat, she wasn't listening. She's wrong, because it's a free country. It's a free world. You can do whatever you want. Just don't come in here and be a turd. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. So bravo to Turtle Boy. And I've got to tell you this. If it were not for Turtle Boy, many of us who live out of state would never have heard of the horrible mass corruption in mass. Oh, that's pretty cool. Mass corruption in mass. And we would have never heard about Karen. I didn't hear about Karen until Turtle Boy is a journalist. He dug deep. He heard of this case. And you know what he did? He asked questions. Before he made an opinion, he asked questions. And you know what? He does have opinions, and he's allowed to, because you know what opinions do? They make you think. Having an opinion about something makes you think. You think, okay, well, what if this is true? Maybe we need to dig a little deeper. Or what if that person really said that? Maybe we need to. Maybe we need, whatever. He's been through, I'm going to just say, you ever heard of Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier in World War II? Well, he's the Audie Murphy of the Karen Reed case and of his own, because quite frankly, he's been through and back, and he is allowed. He is allowed. He brought corruption, right? He brought corruption, and when he brought it to light, the people that he brought attention to went after him. That's strength. And you know what? We do not know what other people are going through. And to sit back and make an opinion about, oh, I don't like this one. Okay. But have you ever been threatened? Have you ever gotten threatening emails? Have your family ever been threatened? You know what? I'm just going to say this. If I went through some of the things that some of these people have gone through, I'd probably be the biggest turd going. Because at what point are you expected to hold your composure and let other people run over you? You're not supposed to swallow it. I'm just going to say that. So I have my opinion about things. And you know what? I'm not everybody's gig. This whole thing, look, I do all this because you guys like it. And I like it too. It just cracks me up because here we are, right? I'm here because we want to be entertained. After having heavy days, no, you don't have. Right? Now there's, yeah, right? There are days when I don't feel like going live. There are days that I've had a really, really hard time. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to do it anyway. And then you're all the better for it. I've always said, pardon me, that I believe Karen and Aiden, I don't care what anybody thinks. I believe that Karen and Aiden have a divine spirit over them. Because look at what they've done. And they have taken it. And it's pretty easy to hide behind a name on the chat. I don't know where that came from. I did that once before, and I don't know where that came from because I didn't do it. You see both my hands. Hello? Anyway. So I just wanted to set the record straight because Heather went into the comments and tried to start something. And nobody bought into it, as far as I know. And if they do, I don't care. All right? I don't care. Because we all know it is what it is. But I appreciate all of you loving yourselves enough, loving me enough, and loving and appreciating these people enough to know that they've gone through it. And believe me, hello, kitten, I see you, my darling. Hold on. This, everyone, is my son's friend, and he plays with, I hate to say that. That sounds so bad. He plays with him. He's a gamer. He's a gamer. My son is a gamer with Kitten. So, and thank you for stopping by and saying hello. But he doesn't like scary stories. So what are we going to do? The show must go on, Kitten. Well, Heather, hopefully, she's banned from this channel. And hopefully Anyway, sometimes you just got to take responsibility for what you do, right? Look at this. Look at this man. If you want to know, I sit here and work. I type. Sometimes I do card readings and he's sitting on my lap. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm taking over now. So he's an assistant producer because Sammy will always be the producer. My darlings, hello. So enough is enough. I just wanted to share that with you because I just thought, pardon me, I just thought I got a kick out of that. Quite frankly, sorry about her luck. If you want to be if you want to be nasty, then go somewhere else. And if you can't for whatever reason, I will certainly send you to wherever you want to go with a one-way ticket. Bye. There we go. Yes, Shaggy. Oh my goodness. Zed's bought a beautiful new little kitten. Oh. I've been cat crazy for years, but I'm going to tell you, when the rest of these people decide to move on, this person here and the rest, then I will. No more. No more. I can't do it. I get too attached. I just can't do it. My emotions get wrecked. You should have seen me with Sam. It was like an Italian funeral. Oh, poor Ian. Ian just stayed in his room. So anyway, there he is, going with the flow, purring like can be. Anyway. Aw, kitten. I know. They're just a big part of the family. They've always been. Ian is so attached to Petey. And Petey, Petey sits here and, he'll bite at me and everything else. Ian will walk out of his room and that cat. And if Ian doesn't pay attention to him, sometimes he stumbles or he'll fall and then Ian will come out and he'll say, "What's wrong, buddy?" And then all of a sudden it's a miracle. So there you are. There we are. There's a vacancy. So he's absolutely, pardon me. And look what I did today. It's not diet. It's root beer. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay. So there we go. So Petey Pink Nose, that's correct. And every now and then he's paranormal Petey. I caught, we've been experiencing some things again. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We have another gamer friend. Hello. There's Uvu. Hello. Where's everybody else? Just bring the whole family. Welcome. I love it that you're in here. Love it. It used to be, because Sonic had half-price shakes after 8 o'clock at night. And I had friends in Nashville. And every time I went to Nashville, it was like first thing, Sonic, hello, big peanut butter fudge shake. I didn't visit often. Hello. Hello, my darlings. Well, you know what? I just get tired of, because I drink unsweet tea and I'm trying to get my voice back and it's coming back. But there are some things that I drink that just really hurt it. So, but I just needed that root beer today. All right. Anyway, let me see. Oh, where did you go? Here we are, Steph. Hi there, Steph, Lady Zelda. I just started watching your channel. I love it. Oh, at what time are you doing the live remote viewing for Mrs. Guthrie on Saturday? 7 p.m. Always 7 p.m. Eastern. That's New York time. Unless there's another announcement. And I'm going to say, I may be doing a remote viewing for another crime scene on Sunday. I don't know. I haven't heard a time yet. I'll let you know. But that's coming to be close. So I'll let you know when that comes. So there we go. Cherry Coke. You know what? Oh, really? Well, Ian is into the vanilla, cherry vanilla Coke. That's the cherry vanilla float. And you know, you get started on that stuff. When I was growing up, we were not allowed to have it. Do you remember when Cotton Club? Now, this is going back 100 years now. When I went to kindergarten with God, hello, they had the Cotton Club 6-packs. My mother would always go into the store and she would pick out what flavors, because I liked the green, my sister liked the grape, and my dad liked a root beer type thing. And I think, no, it was orange. My dad liked the orange and my mom, I forget. But she always got listen, that would have to last us a month. No kidding. My mom had a way of re-putting those caps on the bottle so they didn't lose. And now it's like, hello, it's everywhere. What happened to my voice? Well, part of it, my doctor says that I talk too much. Imagine. Because I'm constantly talking. I talk too much, but I think that I think that I've got some allergies. And I think that has a lot to do with it. And I can't drink any milk problems, right? Milk products like shakes and all that, I just can't do it because it just makes my throat feel like it's just going like this. Not good. And then when I try to drink a diet drink, especially Lipton Peach Zero Tea, I can't do it. It wrecks me. And I forgot to drink pickle juice tonight because I got started on the Clausen pickle juice. And when I drink it, I don't sound like it just clears it up like this, because their recipe for the brine is so much better than these other vinegary things that are happening. I just saw somebody say it might. Now, if somebody's trying to send me a text, I don't see it because I've got it hooked up for something else for our eyelash cam tonight. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. I did that. Ginger. And I take Ginger Saturday night, my darling, Saturday night. Oh, I don't know about the remote viewing. And maybe Sunday night. They asked me, but I think they're trying to work it out. Hey, my darlings. Katie, I'm so annoyed that I didn't know about Lady during those hearing. I missed so much. So glad to be. Well, you're here now. But I'm just going to tell you, my darling, I've never seen anything in my crime career. Not that I'm out committing crimes, but in my crime reading, come here. In my crime reading career, I have never been involved with a case like that one. Never, never, ever. That blew my mind. Some of the things that happened, it was just, and I was reading daily. And you know, next Thursday, a week from tonight, is the 1-year anniversary already of Karen being acquitted. Hallelujah. The first time I laid eyes on that lady, I say girl, because for me, everybody is a girl, because once again, when you go to kindergarten with God, everyone is much younger, right? That's just the way it is. So when I first laid eyes on Karen, I thought, oh, she's not guilty and they're going to hand it to her. And they sure did. And they still are. How horrible. With yes, ice cream, all kinds of things. Oh, hey, I'm so glad. Well, you can take me through Walmart if you want, my darling. That's great. Let me catch up. Favorite is the Dr. Pepper. I got to tell you what else. You know what really set me off? The dirty Dr. Pepper from McDonald's. Oh, heavens. And I try to make every excuse. Oh, yeah, it won't hurt me. No. Yes. No, we don't know what that is. Enlighten us, my darling. Enlighten us. What is that? Okay, I'm going to catch up with the chat now and saying hello, and then we're going to get really started. But I got to say this. I love Clausen pickles. They're the best. The best pickle juice is the Clausen mini dill. That's the best one. It's the balance of everything that you need. Don't drink the real vinegar. They actually do the opposite of what they're supposed to do. If you'll hold on a minute, hold on a second. I'll show you. Give me a second. I'll be right. Here we are. Not sponsored. These are the Clausen pickles, the kosher mini dills. And you can see, well, they're green screen. You can see now, pardon me, this is my jar. Nobody else eats out of it. And you're going to tell a difference in my voice. And there we go. I can tell a difference already. Okay, now, my darling, let me see. Starbright, you. Oh, look at that little sweetheart. You're amazing. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. Do they really? I didn't know that. I swear, I go probably through 4 of those jars a week. Seriously. Okay, let me catch up. Girl. You got it. Okay, let me see. Let me tell you a little something about, because I didn't do a reading on Michael Proctor today. But I'm going to fill you in on a little something, because for those of you who didn't see the hearing with Rosemary, I cannot say her last name properly. She's like my spirit animal sometimes. Scarpiccio, I think her name is. Bless her. You know, Proctor is fighting because he says that even though he has nastiness on his phone, think bad and then turn up the volume, because I'm sure it's much worse. And we're going to see much worse. Wait until after the 15th. We're going to get Scarpiccio. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. I remember that. Thank you. Thank you. She's a hoot. She reminds me of Anne Burrell. I love her. Rosemary. If I were a lawyer, I would just want to have it all hang out. Like Rosemary, right? Because she's like a badger. And I don't know if any of you know what a badger is. A badger, this little sweet looking little sweetheart. A badger, for me, it's only the mini kosher dills, my darling, but a badger will take on a lion. You know why? Because he can crawl up underneath him and grab on the 2 things that make him as tough as he probably is. And you know what I'm talking about. My son has a word for him and I can't say it. But back to the Proctor is, first of all, we know Proctor was fighting not to give the depositions. I'm going to tell you what's behind this. Proctor fought to not give the depositions. He lost that, hands down, no matter what. I don't know what he was trying to do, but it didn't work. It failed. Now he doesn't want anybody to see his phone because he says there's too much nastiness on there, and he's worried about the other person. Look, Michael X, Trooper Proctor, the disgrace to the department in Massachusetts. Come here and come here closer, because I got a little something I want to tell you. Nobody cares about your peen, and nobody wants to see your pickle. I'll tell you who's behind this. Nothing but his wife. His wife, because can you hear her in the background? Can you hear his wife in the background going, Michael, you better get this. I now know what's on your phone, and you better make sure that nobody else has, because my pictures are on there too, and you better make sure nobody sees them, or I'm through with you. Wars have been lost over fighting for a ladies you know what. And I can bet you at home that is the war of the world. No pun intended. So Michael, and does that not, hello, does it not resonate to anyone? Oops, hello. Shaggy standing here making, come on, buddy. And by the way, everyone, I have the Help I'm Haunted shirt from the shop, and it says run, and it is so comfortable. So anyway, my darlings, 10 times out of 1, did I say that right? No, I don't know. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. He didn't win. He didn't win. He didn't win. He didn't want to win. But think about this. His wife finally figured out that she married not 10 to 1. Thank you. 9 times out of 10, 1 time out of 10, 1 time out of 9, whatever the case may be. I can't do math, but I'm in the financial world and I tell the future. Welcome. That is what it is. The wife is going, because does it not make sense to you? He's not saying, oh no, I don't want you to see my text because I've been so mean. I've been so horrible. I'm a racist. I'm a misogynist. I'm everything else. And I've got tire tracks on my forehead now because I'm just feeling like I get run over. No, Michael, your wife doesn't want everybody to see the nastiness that you've had on your phone. Your wife doesn't want her to see her. And especially your wife doesn't want all the rest of us women seeing your mini dill. Because I'm sure we will all have our opinion about your appendage, because it doesn't make any difference. It's sickening. There. Anyway, there's more to come out. Oh, yeah, okay. There's more to come out. Starting Monday. You watch. You watch. You watch. There's more to come out. Now, let's get into some spooky, because we are here for, Sweetie pie, did you? Oh my gosh, I almost peed. Okay. My son says something that's hilarious, and I bust out laughing every time, but I can't say it here. Oh, there's my sweetheart. Hi. Hi, look. Shaggy is here to say hello. Almost asleep. This is Ian's girlfriend. Hello, hello. But all of you in here who talk to my son, you all know what he says about the mini pickle. No, it's not the mini pickle. It's the two things. Oh, and look, here he is now. Hello, Honest Path. That happens to be Ian. So I've got all the gamers in here tonight. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. There he is. Look at him. I swear, he's a little bum. I'm just going to tell you. Now, my darlings, I've got a story tonight that I can tell you. Wait, where's my banners? I think I need to put a little disclaimer, trigger warning up, because you know how it is. Okay. You know how it is. Probably a little gherkin pickle. If it's even a pickle at all, it might even be a mushroom. Oh gosh, don't get me started. All right. If you haven't been here before, welcome, because, they're coming to take us away. Ha ha, hee hee, to the funny farm where life is beautiful. And it certainly is. So let me give you a little, do this for me, please. Like and subscribe. And then here is Kelly Dever. Do you remember her?
The garage, essentially. There's a garage, essentially.
So tonight we're not going to be talking about the garage, but I was kind of in a Karen Reed mood. All right. So there we are. Complete with fungus. There's a fungus among us, sweetie pie. There's a fungus among us. Oh my heck. That is just so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Welcome to, what are we? Oh, help, I'm haunted. And later we're going to be help, I'm haunted, so I need to get ready with me, and I'm going to show you how I put my eyelashes on. I didn't put them on tonight because of you, and I want to show you how I do it. Might even give you a few other little tips. He turned my light on over here. Let me turn it off. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. Yes, and he can turn my light on. Pardon me. I have a story tonight. You know how we were talking about no fungus among us? You guys, now we've started something, haven't we? And forgive the hair, because I put too much beef tallow in it. And it looks like it's ready to be in the field and not here. All right. Just want to ride my motorcycle. There you go. Now, so what sound effects do you want, you guys? Do you want, I'm sure it's not a magic mushroom either. I can tell you that right now. I know you guys can't help yourself. I know it. And you know what? We may as well be here to laugh, right? We may have a laugh. We might as well have a laugh. Okay. Do we want rain? Do we want fireplace? Or do we want the bayou sounds? Do we want bayou? So rain is number 1. Fireplace is number 2. And 3 are the bayou, because we're going to be talking about a thing that happened, and it's Marie Laveau. Not about Marie Laveau, but Marie Laveau. It has something to do. So, okay, 3, let's see, crickets, Marie Laveau. Oh boy, how are we going to tally this? How are we going to tally? Captain Jerry, if you get an eyeball of what this is, we've got, we're getting a lot of bayou. We're getting a lot of bayou. Okay, I think bayou is coming out ahead. All right, let's come to the bayou. Here we are. Is that loud enough? Can you hear the bayou okay? I'll turn it up just a little bit because I'm loud tonight. What's wrong with me? The neighbors are probably going hello. All right. They me to the bayou. Oh, God. Stick to the gaming, buddy. All right, here we are. My son is so funny. He is. He has me laughing all the time. And here we are in Nolans. Okay. So I've got a little, you live on the bayou. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, here we are, my darlings. Trigger warning. The pickle juice is working, see? Trigger warning. And do me a favor, put your DNA on the like button, share it, because someone may need this stream. You just don't know. And subscribe. And then when you subscribe to a channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and you're going to see a drop-down menu. Click the all, because some of it is just basically it's like gives you a choice. And if you click the all, then you're going to be able to hear. You're going to be not here. You're going to be able to have everything. Here we are. Okay. And you'll get your notifications. Drink, please. Years ago, I had a client who wanted this particular man. Now listen, we all know that, right? We all go through that. But she was hot and heavy. She was wanting a particular fellow. Now this man, very nice looking. He was a high executive at one of our big Chevy dealerships. He was dropping big money, making sales, doing all kinds of things. He was really nice, and he was sharp dresser, sharp. Oh my goodness. She comes to me as a client and says, I want this man. How do I do it? And I said, well, it's not a good thing to force someone to love you, because they'll resent you at the same time. Well, she was one that she could not accept that theory. And she went over to the next town and hired someone I did not do that. Okay, then. I have no idea why we had balloons, but okay. So she went to the next town and she hired someone. So that this woman gave her a candle that was in the, because when you do that kind of thing like Marie Laveau, you have all kinds of candles, and one's a man, one's a woman. Well, she had the red candle that was a man. And this woman told her what to do, told her all these things, told her balloon energy, we got it, told her what to do, told her all these things. And I kept saying, you better not do it. If you do that, life is going to get really hard on you. You just got to understand you need to let him come to you naturally. Now, I was a lot younger then, and at first, I just really wanted to know all the details, not because I was going to do it, but I needed to know, I was working for Psychic Friends Network, doing commercials all the time, constantly. So I didn't hear from her in a long time. So she comes to me, and that's when I was accepting clients in my home. I won't do that again. But this is when she was I was accepting clients in my home. And I said, what's going on? And she said, I think I'm in trouble. And I said, what are you doing? Well, she brought the candle to me, and I swear there was, and there's no way to make a candle do this. There was where the fire had burned and the candle burned down, and the wax was starting to form a heart on the candle where the man candle's chest. And I'm like, oh, heck, you better be careful with this. Well, this woman, I'll tell you what, but I'm going to leave out a few parts because I don't want anybody doing it, because it's not healthy in a spiritual way to do this sort of thing. So she told me what this woman was doing. And it was something from Marie Laveau. Wait, where is my, I need another background. Where am I? Where is my, I read cards for a zombie background. Where am I? I need this. Where is it? I must have taken it off. Oh, well, that's my fault, not yours. All right. So she did everything that she was supposed to do. And you know, when you're doing these things, you have to do them precisely as you're given instructions. So she took a little bit of hair out of this man's brush because she was seeing him, but he wasn't really interested in getting married or anything. But he liked her. He wanted to do this. And she would go to him and say, Zelda told me. And I told her, I said, do not do that kind of thing, because I'm telling you to stay away from it. I'm telling you not to do it. And here you are. You're doing it. Well, didn't listen. So as time went on, evidently, she was supposed to make this hand out of clay, add the hair from this man into the hand. Pardon me. And she did that. She did some other things that, according to the instructions that she was supposed to do. Next thing you know, he's starting to be more amorous. He's starting to be more attentive. He's telling her that he loves her. And she came to me and she said, I told you. It's working. I said, just wait. Just wait. She was one who would betray just about anybody that she could in order to get ahead. And I knew that. And I told her, you better be careful, because it's the karma credit system. You buy now, you're going to pay forever. Well, lo and behold, as things went on, she brought the candle to me. Well, the candle, the heart that was on the front of the candle, split right in two, broke, split. And she said, what are you supposed to do? And I said, he doesn't want this. You can't do this sort of thing to people. It's supposed to be free will. You can't do it. And don't be ridiculous. Give me a second, my darlings. Jody Ackerman, if you are in here, I've got to tell you how much I love you, because you are so generous. Thank you, thank you. Back to the story. Ruby, I'm going to tell you, my darling, this is beyond black magic. This was beyond. So now this heart split on the candle, and I said, look, I just want you to take that out of my house. I don't think it's good. Oh, you're a little sweetheart. Thank you. So, oh, sorry, that was me. So She didn't listen. Go figure. She didn't listen. And she did it anyway. And I said, you need to stop. No, I don't want, he's who I wanted to be married to. Okay. He calls me and he says, Zelda, you got, and I said, I can't stop her. I don't know what she's doing. She's not telling me everything, because he asked me, are you doing something? Well, he didn't believe me. He thought it was me. Okay, whatever. It got to the point where he asked her to marry him. Gave her a ring. And then she became with child. Can't say that on here either. Hello. She became with child. So then the tide of the battle started to turn. And she knew what was happening, because that's not what he wanted. They were both Catholic. They were both devout, but hello, she was one of these that it did not matter. As time went on, they would argue almost every day. And she told me one of the last times they had an argument before they got married, and I actually sang at their wedding. Hello. She told me that he went to go home one day and he grabbed hold of the door. And he turned around and looked at her and he said, I want you to know I hate you. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what you and Zelda did. Now, Zelda didn't do anything. Hello. But he didn't believe that, because she wouldn't tell him anything different. What a scumbag. He said, I hate you. I don't want anything to do with you. And yet I feel so compelled. I cannot stop. I cannot not be here. And now you're pregnant. And I'm stuck for the rest of my life. I don't want this. I know we're going to go through with our wedding. I just want you to know that I am miserable. And if you will please believe me and release me, I will make sure that everything goes right, because you're carrying my child, but I don't want this. Well, she was happy. Weirdo. She was happy, because at that point she knew she had him. She knew he could not be released. She knew. Now listen, my darlings, if I ever had a man who came to me and said, I hate your guts, he would get out, he wouldn't even get out, I hate, his crack would be out the door. And I told her, why do you even entertain this? But no. So she went back to this practitioner, I'm going to call her that. She went back to this practitioner, and the practitioner said, I think we need to double down on him. So of course, she doesn't call me, because she knows what I'm going to say at this point. And I told her, you don't double down. She finally told me, and I said, you don't double down. She said, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm about to have a baby. I said, you made your bed, darling. You've got to lie in it. But if I were you, I would release him. And if he comes back to you, then you know it's on his own. But if you don't release him, your life, as you know it, will be miserable. No. Next thing you know, they're planning for the wedding. Before she starts to show, they're planning for the wedding, and now she hates me. Planning for this wedding, and now she's all this, how dare you, Zelda, tell me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not in New Orleans. No, I'm not in Nolans. I just have stories from all around the world. So I said, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life if you do this. Didn't matter. They got married, and they were at this one place that was a beautiful place. It's a farm where people get married. They had the mayor, who he was friends with, marry them. And I was downstairs getting ready, and the place is haunted to begin with. It always has been. And it's a place where there was a lot of movie stars that went through and all this other stuff. So next thing you know, no, she's not in New Orleans. This is I guess you can say, a spell from Marie Laveau that somebody decided that was appropriate to use with this one client. So this did not happen in New Orleans. This actually happened in Ohio. So I'm downstairs getting ready for the wedding. And I feel this tap on my shoulder. Just a little tap. Well, there wasn't anybody there. I was the only person in the joint. That's okay. I'm all over the place. I'm the only person in the joint, and something little taps me. And I said, I know. You don't even have to tap me. I know. But I'm not going to stop this, because then I gain karma trying to save someone else from having karma. And who am I to stop someone else? Pardon me, I'm going through an adjustment period. Who am I to basically say, oh no, you must? Because you know what? Sometimes you just have to allow people to make their own mistakes. You can't save them. And sometimes people want these things in life so much that they can't get out of their own way. So lo and behold, my darlings, they get married. I sing the song, and I'm watching her walk down the steps. And I thought, oh Lord, because it was a big stairway, just, that Gone with the Wind type thing. And I just wanted to close my eyes and say, oh Lord, please don't allow her to fall. Because that, please don't allow any of that. Well, he was very attentive that day, because he really wanted to make the best of it. Parents were there. Everybody was there. My little Ian was born. He wasn't very old. He went to the wedding too. And so I just said, okay, I think they had the reception at the Knights of Columbus, hello. So now they're married. She gets, she has the baby. He's as cute as can be and looks just like him. And he actually falls in love with the baby, and everything is good. Well, it wasn't good enough, because she wants a second one. And she gets pregnant right away. He wanted nothing to do with it. While she was pregnant, he did everything. It was verbal abuse, to the point where I told her, what is wrong with you? He quit his job. He gave her the burden of supporting him. And see, that's what happens, because he was messed up. He was messed up. So he was just not well. He did not want to be in this. And he would tell her all the time, I didn't want to get married. And now you're doing this to me, And she was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Stop. Yeah, she was a lot of dents. So finally, my darlings, the second baby was born. He was a cutie too, but he was a little wild fart, seriously. And as years went on, Ian would go over there to play with him, and he'd come home and he'd say, Mom, I just can't stand it. I don't want to go and play over there anymore. I can't stand it. So I wouldn't let him come over, and that caused a problem. So the next thing you know, he wants a divorce. And she doesn't want it. And finally one day, she started acting really funny. And she started calling me and saying, what would happen if I left him? I said, karma would come quickly because you ruined his life and you can't take responsibility, and now you don't want him anymore because you ruined his life. And he's miserable. You ruined his life. Period. Every day, she would go home and she would say, now I'm the one that hates you. Isn't it horrible? Oh my goodness. It's just sad. Pardon me. And she would say, now I can't stand you. And the verbal back and forth between the two would just make my blood run cold. I just couldn't hardly hear it. It was that bad. I said, you ruined someone's life, whether that worked or not. You made sure you trapped him. How did I trap him? And believe me, let me, this girl was beautiful. I mean, beautiful teeth, beautiful. I mean, she looked like she was beautiful, but she struggled. And I told her, you ruined someone's life. You can't take responsibility. And now you say that he ruined yours. You need help. And I mean up here. I told you not to mess around with this stuff anyway. If someone really loves you, they'll come. I told you to let him go. He would have come to you eventually. But you had to trap him. Lo and behold, I had an acquaintance who had gotten married, and he was very nice looking. And they met, and the next thing you know, they started having an affair. And he was stuck at home watching their kids while she would go to work and then go out with him. She basically would call me and say, what would you say if I said that I might be seeing anyone? And I would say, good luck. Because I think the guy that you're seeing is a drunk. He's a lot worse than what you have right now. And if you're trying to escape, he's not the way to do it. The next thing you know, I get a call. It was June 13th. That's why I'm telling you about this, because we're almost on that anniversary. It was June 13th. I get a call from her husband. I didn't answer it because I didn't want to get in the middle of it. And then I felt bad, and I tried to call him back, and then the voicemail came on. Now, this was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I said, hello, this is Zelda, and I'm sorry I didn't answer, but I just want to tell you, let her go. She doesn't deserve you. Let her go. Whatever she did, you release yourself, you move on, you go to where you want to go, and that's it. Let her go. Let her go. Karma will find her. The next thing you know, that was a couple of hours later, she calls me and she said, I just want to let you know that I left with this married guy and we're going back to Ohio. Because by then I was living in Tennessee. They moved in Tennessee. Long, big story. She said, I'm going back to Ohio and I'm going with him. I'm taking the kids. And I said, well, what about, what's his face? Your husband? And she said, we stopped by to let him see the kids. And then we went on. I said, what time was that? She said, oh, I don't remember. It was something like, I don't know. She gave me a time. And I said, okay, good luck. That was the last time I ever spoke with her. But the next thing you know, the police called me. And I said, I answered and they're like, hello, ma'am, we are such and such with such and such detective with such and such and such and such and such, And I said, yes, sir, what may I do for you? And he said, do you know such and such? And I said, well, yes, he is the husband of a former client of mine. He said, when was the last time you talked with him? I said, well, he called earlier today, but I didn't answer. And they said, yeah, that's how we got your telephone number. We're going through his phone. And I said, wait a minute, you're going through his phone? He said, yes. He said, we don't understand something. And I said, what is it that you don't understand? And he said, someone called to let us know that he did not show up for his shift today. And we did a welfare check. And we found him unalive in the bathroom. And I said, did he do anything to himself? And he said, no. We're looking into it. And I said, what time did this happen? He said, well, this is what I don't understand. He said, when he called you was after his time of death. I said, oh, no wonder he didn't answer. And he said, yeah. He said, can you explain that? I said, no, sir. I said, except that sometimes people have such a horrible energy that is wrapped around them. They have to make one last ditch effort before they move on. And that's it. He said, I have to call you back. And I said, you feel free to call me at any time. So he called me back and he said, I really want you to tell me what you think. I said, I think they did him in. I think because he swore he was not going to give her a divorce. And he was married, this other guy that she took off with. And he said, he said, do you really believe in that? I'm like, you don't know me. But yes, I do. And I said, I've worked in the crime community for a long time and stranger things have happened. And I said, this man, I said, and I'm going to tell you something. If they didn't do it to him physically, she did it to him mentally. She ruined his life. And then he said, well, what do you mean? And I explained everything about the Marie Laveau and how she went and, she did all this. Well, they started questioning her, and that made her mad. She called every agency on me that had 3 letters, all these other things. And come on. And to this day, my dear friends, regardless of what anybody says, I believe that you can seriously alter and change someone's life by doing things like this. I've never seen her again. I've seen her here and there, maybe on social media, but she makes sure that she follows me. And if you're seeing this, I know what you did. But I'm going to also tell you, the last time, because she blocks me. And believe me, I was her go-to, telling her what to do for a long time, for years. I knew this lady for, probably 15 years, 17 years, something like this. So I basically told the police, they gave me one more call. They couldn't find anything. They did an autopsy, and they never have to this day found out what did this. Now, the audacity of these 2 people, because Catholic funerals are beautiful at the same time very sad. I don't know what it is about Catholic tradition. I'm not Catholic, but I would go and sit in a Catholic church just to light candles in there. It's the atmosphere. Hello? That's what it is. She had the funeral in her hometown. Everybody's brother, dog, pup, including his parents, families. She takes Loverboy to the funeral with her. Open this right here and you will see nothing. Not a brain. I saw her not long ago. She's 9 years younger than I am. 10 years. 10 years younger. 10 years younger than me. And I want you to know she looks 50 years older than me. Not only that, she's 5 times as wide. Not only that, she was writing on social media. She has gotten married. I guess doing very well, but writing on social media that she wants to know who has the best anxiety medicine because she can't function without it. Now, I didn't want to laugh, but I certainly wanted to grin. Because this, again, is part of the karma credit system. You buy now for that kind of stuff, and you pay forever. I've never heard from her again. Never. But I'm still intrigued if I would have answered that phone, because, right after my mother passed away, the phone, and it was a landline, the phone was rattling. It wasn't ringing, it was rattling. And then I didn't answer, and a shelf fell out of my closet. So I know that energy has something last to say. I know that when your soul departs and you realize that you're disconnecting, you're transitioning, sometimes you just want to reach out one more time. But I just got to tell you, haunting for a situation is different for everybody. The ham people, you can see the toll that it's made on this person. And that's why I have always said, take responsibility for what you do. Don't, because I'm going to come out and we're going to go a little deeper. All of these things that we have that are, the bullying and sometimes people being mean here. I believe, and I'm just going to tell you the way it is. I believe, oh, there's more. There's more coming, my darlings. There's more coming. I believe when you do that, you're actually spell casting. You're wishing harm on someone else. And it comes back to you. Now, here's the rest of the story. Before she got married to this new guy, whoever, high standing stone, oh, look at that, that's so cute. Before she got married, and she was still with Loverboy, they were splitting up, and before they left, she ripped off Loverboy's wife to the point where she took all the furniture, everything. They took everything. She was gone that day with her kids and left her with nothing. Keep checking on the karma. Well, they were breaking up. And her dad decided he was going to go over there and they were going to get all this furniture, who happened to be this other woman's, get all the furniture. And next thing you know, he came home to an empty house. They both moved on. He had another girlfriend and she got married. Well, lo and behold, I got notification that this man, Loverboy, was going to bed one night and had a massive heart attack. Dropped to the floor. 48 years old. You see how things happen? You see how when you're not thinking about it, when you see how karma will distract you and you won't understand where it's coming from, because it is for you to sit back and examine. Now, we all have karma, because there is such a good thing as good karma as well as bad. But karma can be a real mommy. And in this particular case, she brought it onto herself, and it was years. It was years. Count 2 years before she got pregnant. Count that. So let's see, that had to be 30 years. And she's still suffering. You may ask her, but you can take a look at her and you can see how life has been very, very hard on her. And I wanted to tell you this story tonight because, we kind of started out in this second season of Help, I'm Haunted with all these things, and I read cards for a zombie and Franklin and, Zombie Island and all these things happening, blah, blah. I wanted to share that with you because sometimes I get calls. And I got one this week about how someone is so dissatisfied in life, so sad, that she wants to take life into her own hands, but change it in a way that's unnatural. And quite frankly, my darlings, that is very unnatural. It goes against the rhythm of the universe and the laws of God. And that's one thing you really sort of kind of don't want to mess with. So the reality is, And it kind of worked out today that when I saw Heather leave that comment, now look, I want you to do this. If you do see that, don't go and harass her. Don't go and harass her. She's off doing her own thing. And you know what? That's fine. But just know that when people are so miserable that they have to reach out like that, there's something else going on. Many times, people don't have anything to do. Many times, not working, they live on the internet, morning, noon, and night, and anything that they can get into, they will. I don't know about you, my darlings, but I'm just going to say this. That life ain't for me. And I am so happy. Seriously. And why am I so happy? Because I don't believe in that. And I don't believe in allowing others, if I'm in their presence, to do it as well. There was a time that it was, probably a good 20-year period that I was so miserable. I did not know where to turn. And the funny thing is, when you just sit back, and when I started last year with, I'm so excited about what the universe has to send me and how quickly it's going to happen, things just started popping. And I'm not kidding you. Like, you know the problem that I have right now, I'll share the problem that I have. The problem is I have so much opportunity that I can't handle it myself and I have to turn it away. That's a high class problem to have. And that's what I want all of you to have too. You want all those high class problems, because when things like that start happening and you've got good, and you know what, you can overcome bad karma. You know how? All you have to do, pardon me, just give me a second. All you have to do, my darlings, is forgive. Be kind. Not hard. That's what we're supposed to do. Forgive. And don't hold people in, because you are supposed to, because you want something so bad that you can't think of another person. This man lost his quality of life. Not only did he lose his life, she had 2 deaths on her karma card. He lost his quality of life. She was warned. And now what? The boys are without a father. They're doing okay. She's a grandmother now. That's okay. That's it. But where is the quality of life? That's how I say, look at this man. You will never tell me that animals don't smile. I see it all the time. Especially here. We're always smiling and laughing and having a good time while I'm laying in bed doing Google searches at 3 a.m. Do you think would Jesus have ridden a dinosaur? Where all of this comes from, I don't have a clue, but it's so bloody interesting. So there we go. I'm happy to be with each and every one of you, and I want you to know that it's not too late, and it never is. It's never too late. Clear the karma. Forgiveness, happiness clears it. All you have to do is start doing good for other people, even if it hurts a little. And I'm not talking about giving your money away or anything else. Be good to others. I don't know where that's coming from. You can see my two hands. I have no idea. That must be the karma here. That must be the karma here, because I did not do that little, I don't know if you saw that little bubble with the thumb. I have no idea where that comes from, by the way, because that is not part of the StreamYard. So whoever did it, thanks. Thanks. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. On the right track. So my darlings, while this was kind of scary, there we go. We've got some really good comments here. Who will do good things and good things will come to you. Absolutely. Absolutely, my darling. Standing Stone says, I saw it. I saw it. Your son. Yes. And no, my son didn't do that. I saw that. Nanette says it too. There we go. Marcia. Wow, I saw that. Divine. I think it is. I think it is. Do we have, it must be Casper, the friendly ghost, or somebody, because I have no, there's no triggers, nothing. And you know what doesn't cost something to smile at anybody? I got to tell you something really funny. You guys are going to crack up. I got to tell you this. So, you know, I like McDonald's coffee and McDonald's iced coffee. Hello. If I'm ever out and I'm down that way, I slide right through McDonald's. Well, the other day I had my other shirt. And for those of you who didn't see it, my Help I'm Haunted shirts and run is in the shop. I'm a talker. That's right. Hello, I'm a talker. So I rock through the drive-through. Now, look, I got my hair up. I got sunglasses on. I don't even think I had lipstick on that day. I was going bare for the fair. So I slid right through. I was on a mission to go to the post office, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go right there. Oh my gosh. I had my one shirt. It's kind of a burgundy shirt that's in the shop. And hi, Tiffany, my darling, you're so cute. And in the shop, and it has my face on the front. I forget which one it is. I'm a Zelda fan, or I'm a Zelda Nader, or something like that. It's got my face on it. Excuse me, sir. I got my face on it. I go through the drive-through, and the woman, I'm driving my son's truck. I'm a trucker mama. So I get up to the line, and this girl goes, oh, so if you're watching, hello, my darling. She says, oh, do you know Zelda? I watch her all the time. I said, yeah. And she goes, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I love all this in card reading. She's asking me, have you ever seen this about her and whatever? And I took my sunglasses off, and she looked at me and went, oh my God. And she was screaming. She was taking the orders, and she was screaming, and you could hear it coming through the drive-through thing. It was hilarious. And I said, oh my gosh, I wish I had an extra shirt. I would give it to you. She's screaming, running through McDonald's. Oh my God, Zelda is at the window. They're all coming out. Can we have your autograph? I said, I don't have a pen. I'm holding up the line some other time. She's like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. She was going on. And I had to laugh. And the first thing I thought of is, this is reason 4,888 that my son never goes anywhere with me. Because if Ian were with me, he would have done this. I just thought it was so funny. Not that I'm famous, but I just thought it was funny because you know what? I mean, it's one of the things. But it's been a day. I didn't do that today, but it's been a day. I'm going to tell you what else I did. My lawyer in Nashville is a good friend of mine. I love my lawyer. He is so funny, and he looks like, what is it, Steve Martin? Seriously, looks like Steve Martin. He was, I didn't have my glasses on. We were texting back and forth today, and I'm thinking, oh, every now and then I get a little prideful, and I think, oh, I don't need my glasses. We're texting back and forth, and he puts a little, like you're number one. Well, I put a little gesture in the chat too, and I thought it was number one, but it wasn't. It was the bird. So I flipped my lawyer the bird today. And he was like, oh, really? Thanks. And laughing. And I put my glasses on. I'm like, oh, my heck. I flipped my lawyer the bird. Thank you very much for your friendship. We were laughing so hard. I'm like, from now on, believe me, there will be no more hand gestures, finger gestures, anything more. Because and this is what I said, because I don't live in Massachusetts. He says, what do you mean? And I said, never mind. And he goes, now, and I said, no. I said, in this place, Canton, Massachusetts, it's all they ever do. You take pictures of each other, and everybody's given the one finger salute, and whatever. Even the mother of this person who they found on a lawn on 34 Fairview Road, you see pictures of her, and there she is. Da-da! The one finger salute. Read between the lines. There you go. I told Ian the other day, I said, listen, I don't flip people off, because this is when I had my nails on. But I said, if I ever did, my nails look so great, it would never have the impact that it's supposed to. So anyway, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, my darlings. You guys are all wonderful. Now, are you ready to have a little, do you want another story? Or should we just, yes, JOK's mom. Would you like another story, or would you like, oh no, let's take a break and let me share all the gifts that are coming in, because you guys are fantastic. Creative Snapper, bless you and thanks, welcome. And my darling Sim Perkins, thank you for becoming a member. I'm so happy that you're here. Katie Harmer, thank you for your generosity. You're so cute. Thank you. There's my Ruby. Love your channel, Lady Z. And I love you back. Thank you so much for your generosity. And look, Patty, you didn't have to do that. You're so sweet. I love this community so much. I love you too. We all love you, Patty. Thank you so much. And there is, look at this beautiful doll. Some people have to try. She's one of them that doesn't have to. Look at her. Just because I love your beautiful soul, thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for your generosity, my darling. Thank you. Story. Okay. All right. Let me see. Story. Let me think of a story. Do you want a scary one? Oh, you like the old story that I was driving. That was it was my granddaughter. I owned a pizza place in Gatlinburg, Tennessee a few years ago. 26 years. Oh my heck. 26 years ago. And it was very hard to get people to work. So I would make pizzas, and my daughter and her husband at the time had to go and do something. And I said, well, I'll take her with me. And so Ian and her were with me, and I told them, I said, now you guys have to be really, really good, because I got to make these pizzas, and I need to be like, hello, getting them out. Oh, and they were always golden. Ian is always golden, and she was too. She was a little fart when she wanted to be, but anyway, she was really golden. So I had a yellow tracker. I love trackers. And on the hood, I painted a square pizza, and then I put home of the square pizza. And the reason I painted the hood was I was on Ski Mountain Road, if you've ever been to Gatlinburg, and they have trams going up and down to the ski lodge. So they would look down, and I put a sign on the roof of my building that said, if you mention this ad and you'll get a free 2-liter. You wouldn't believe the people that came in, and the 2-liters cost me little or nothing. It was just wonderful. But anyway, so there I am in my yellow tracker, and I'm listening to Jethro Tull, Locomotive Breath. And we are all jamming, going up and down those roads. And because I had to track her, because sometimes those mountain roads can get a little, yeah, the last pizza story was kind of scary. Well, it's the same joint that I had, right? So yeah, Locomotive Breath, we were going for it. I came back and my daughter and her husband were sitting, and I'm sure that they could hear, because believe me, we had it up loud and we were like, jamming out. Old grandma here was going for it. So we pull into my store. My daughter gets out and she looks at me. Now, let me just time out for a second. There comes a time when your kids kind of turn into what they feel are your parents. Every now and then I have to tell Ian, okay, Dad, right? It is what it is. So yeah, a geo tracker I had a white one and a yellow one. I loved them both. And I get out of my tracker. My daughter is standing in the parking lot, giving me the eyes and saying, "How dare you?" I'm like, "What? How dare you take my daughter? And you're listening to that hippie rug music." Well, look, I'm a hippie. I was not a ruggie. And there we go. Hello. That was the biggest thing. Never, but that just always cracked me. How dare you play that hippie rug music in front of my daughter? Well, I can tell you, it did not really have too much of an effect on her. She's doing okay. So hippie or not, we all survived. Because I can't say the D in front of so the hippie rug, we call it that. Hippie rug, hot Cheeto girl. So my darlings, let's see if I can think of, are you an old hippie rug? Nanette? Okay. Well, you know what rug means, because you can't say the D in front of the rest of the word here. So I just say a rug, and it's kind of a game show. You have to add your little letters and everything in. Okay, I'm trying to think of another scary story right off the top of my head. Oh, are you ready for a scary? Oh yeah, of course you're ready. And then we'll just do, yes, the hippie rug music. I love Jethro Tull. Well, what was his name? Ian, that plays the flute. I got to tell you this. I used to listen to all that so much. I was so into music so much. That's not why I named my Ian Anderson. Thank you so much, Mr. Anderson. I should remember that. But Ian grew up wanting to play the flute. Not because he wanted to play anything other than music like Jethro Tull, which I just thought, holy, that would be quite awesome. Hello. So everybody in school you know how that is. People in school. So I went in there, talked to this music teacher, and the music teacher started to say, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "No, they are just hounding him." So we went in there one day, and he says to Ian, "What do you want to play?" And he said, "Well, I kind of wanted to play the flute, but I don't think so anymore." And he goes, "Well, here you go." And he plays Jethro Tull in the music room. And all these kids are like, "Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm." Well, He never did. He's a singer like me. He never did. But you know what? It is what it is. That just people can be so cruel no matter how they are. All right, let's see what's scary. Something that really scared me. Oh, yes. I was living in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. Some of you may have heard this. Some of you may not. I was living in South Carolina. I was married to the lieutenant commander in the Navy, and I was actually living on Isle of Palm, and it's outside of Charleston. I was renting a house, and there's another part of this story, but I was renting a house, and we don't have time for that today. But he was out of town. Why is he always out of town? We were married 12 years, and he was gone for, I mean, like 9 years out of the 12. Anyway, so I went to stay with one of my friends who had come there from Greenville, South Carolina. And we were having this, and she's like, I want you to come and stay with me because my cat keeps asking, it's so weird. My cat keeps acting so weird. And I said, okay, let's go. Now, I didn't have any animals then because, when you're living and you're moving around like that a lot, and that's before I moved to the house where I spoke to Jacques Saint Germain. Anyway, before that whole thing. And I said, you know what? I'll come up there because I just felt like I was there all the time. I didn't have any friends, nothing to do. I love Goose Creek. That's Navy spouse, always gone. So we went up to her house. Now this cat, and you know how I am with cats, but this cat kind of bothered me because he had a face that didn't look right. This cat's face, sometimes he would look at you and it would look almost human or like another animal or something. It was just so bizarre. It just looked different. Pardon me just a second, my darlings. I gotta make sure I see stuff. Okay, so anyway, pardon me for the interruption. I keep getting these emails and I think they're scams and I won't click on them. Anyway, so I go there and I see this cat. And with me, if you see me with a cat, I'm like, oh, come here, kitty. Let's hug. Let's, hello. Right? Look at this. He just can't get enough. He's just not on my shoulder enough, right? He's a little bum. So finally, that night, I couldn't sleep. I was in my own bedroom. Her son had gone somewhere. So she was in her room, I was in mine. I was in his room. I wake up to this cat sitting across the room, staring at me. Kind of like the hot Cheeto girl, And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I just kind of like stayed there for a minute. And if you know anything about cats, you can't really stare down a cat. If you stare at a cat, it'll be the first one to turn because that is a sign of someone trying to be on the attack or something. And a cat won't stare you down unless it's put in that position. Well, this cat was staring me down. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, cat, what is it that you would like to do? Do you want something? And he was sitting on the dresser of her little boy's dresser. He had, I don't know, a TV or something. The moment that I said, cat, what is it that you want? That cat almost changed and looked at me and said, just seriously, moved toward me, that head, and went, you. I'm going to tell you, I came up out of that bed so fast. I didn't even ask if it said anything or not. I yelled and went out of there. And the cat was not a Maine Coon. It was obsessed. That cat ran. I mean, it looked at me, and it looked like it was like gonna like the hot Cheeto girl, you know. What are you needing, buddy? Are him okay? Oh, now that my arm is a different. Here's the Help I'm Haunted. It's in the shop now, my darlings. So I come up out of there like I was 18, and I'm yelling, and her name is Kay, and I said, Kay, I'm out of here. She's like, what's wrong? And I said, your cat just said something to me. And her face went completely white. She said, oh my God. And I said, what? And she said, Jonathan, who was her son, Jonathan says his cat tries to talk to him all the time. I said, well, you bloody well need to believe him, and you need to get out. Where did you get that cat? He said, I don't know, it just came up here one day. And I said, what's he saying to, oh, hey there. Hello there, Scarlet Blue, my darling. And I said, you need to get rid of that cat. And you know me, I'm not that type of thing. But I said, that's not right. A cat, that cat is here for a different reason, and you need to get rid of that cat. Well, that hurt her feelings. I said, it hurt. Listen, you wouldn't get that around my kids. That cat would have to go. I'm leaving. And that cat, it didn't matter. I was in that room packing my bag, and that cat was just staring. And it would sit here just like this. I'm going to do it like this. See if this would unnerve you. That's how that cat was doing. Now, listen, there was a time that I could embarrass the guys from Goodfellas, right? I kind of had the mouth of the South. It didn't work. It didn't fit me, but there was a time that I did. It was that was one of the times that I let her cut loose. And believe me, her little boy, I think he was 12 or 13 at the time. And evidently he would sit and talk to her son at night and tell her son that he was not going to be there long, that he was going to be lost. And I mean, it was scary things. And I told her, I said, that's on you. You get rid of that cat or your son is going to leave you. I'm leaving you right now. What is wrong with you? I was so, seriously, this is like 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up and I'm driving from Greenville, South Carolina down to Isle of Palms. and Mount Pleasant. I lived at Mount Pleasant first and then moved to Isla Palms. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And that scared the absolute. I'm like, there's no way I would give that cat to a shelter because it was too aware. And if you knew what that meant, having a cat that was too aware means that there was more to it than meets the eye. And you don't want anything like that coming into another family. That cat would have had to go, I don't know, but anywhere away. That scared me more than anything. Now, I'm serious. There were times when I would be laying in bed, does Jesus eat a grilled cheese sandwich type thing, reading my Kindle, dropping it on my face, that Sam would start staring at me. She didn't ever, but Sam would start staring at me and would, and it would get to me because I'm thinking, oh my God, don't say anything, sister. And I would look at her and I'd say, are you about to talk to me? Because if you are, you're going to have to go outside and not come back. And she would look at me and then just go, okay, I'll talk. All right. So there you go. Yeah, this was not anything that was good. And I'm going to tell you something. There are parts of Charleston, South Carolina that have a lot of energy, kind of like this, but this was years ago, my darlings. I mean, wait, how old am I? This had to be 40 years ago minimum. So this was not, I'm sure that cat is gone. So there we are. But yeah, that stuff, that is too much for me. I can't deal with that. Because somebody said to me the other day, Zelda, when you read tarot, you're cheating people out of 78 different outcomes. Now, I know what they mean, but I said, okay, what are you meaning by that? Well, because you don't read reverse. No, I don't. Well, you're cheating people out of reverse meetings. You do you, darling. I'm going to do me. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, look, when people come to me for a card reading, they already know what's sour in their life. They don't need me sitting here and going, oh, not only are you thinking it's bad, but it's going to get worse. This is nasty. This is bad. Who wants to go to a card reader like this? Many people do. And sometimes, not everybody, there's really good card readers out there. But there are those there are those ones that will do that so you keep coming back and scare you. I've got the hiccups. Scare you so you keep coming back. You already know what's bad. You come to a card reader to understand how to get through it, not to try and make somebody fall in love with you and marry you and trap them so they lose their quality of life. You come to card readers so they can give you a better insight. And somebody's like, oh, Zelda, you're going to go to the hot place. Well, let me tell you this about the hot place. If your pastors were doing their job and teaching the truth and not being so judgmental, you would put people like me out of business, because your parishioners and your other people would start going to you and not to me. And I still encourage people to go to, not to church, but to make sure that they have a good spiritual connection with their creator and who they believe. That's the way it is. If your pastors would tell the truth about Revelation and not try to scare people into coming every Sunday and giving away their wealth, so the only person that benefits, that's why in the book of Revelations, it says that the pastors go through judgment first. You know what I was thinking, my darlings? I got to tell you this. I know everybody's favorite Help I'm Haunted episode is Run, right? Do you all like that one? Put a 1 in the chat if you all liked. There you go, Cindy. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. I'll take that one too, my darling. So put a 1 in the chat if out of this series, Run is your favorite. Would you like me to play that part again for all of you? Would you like to see that Run sometime? I can always play it here, and I can tell you more of the story. Tell me when you want to see that Run story. We have been here 2 hours already, and I just feel like it's been 20 minutes. Yes, Run. I think Run is my favorite story out of all of them. So when do you want to see Run? When do you want to see that? Soon? Yes? Yeah, okay. Maybe next Thursday. Pardon me. We'll talk a little bit, and I'll tell you the rest of the story. I'll tell you the rest of the story that goes along with Run. And I will comment on my own. I'll comment on my own. There you go. Who's coming here? Are you making a mess? Who is this? Oh, who are you? Draggy Noodles. Don't step on anything. Okay. Okay, Mommy. Okay. There we are. Okay, we'll do it next Thursday. Be here next. Okay, my darling Patty. All right, we'll do it next. We'll do it next Thursday. How's that? No. I'm hugging my man. He's got the hiccups and so do I. Let me see. Somebody said something here I want to show. Okay. All right, Bubba. Look at this little head. My darling, here's Uvu. It's refreshing to hear you say this 100% agree. Listen, my son, if you're listening, Ian, you're allowed to chime in and say, because I get to going. I hear these people preaching, frightening everyone. And man, oh man, I just do not dig it. Okay, here we go. Zelda, I forgot the name, but when you went into an older house and it had something to do with a hand on the staircase, remember? Was that the Amityville one? Was that Amityville? My Amityville story when I went in there, the hand wrapped around the staircase. And that's when my ex was like weird. Run. Yeah, that was Amityville. That was not a human hand. Run. My favorite part of Run when I was talking to Officer Not So Bright, bless him, I can't say that, but yes, I'm going to say that. Officer, ma'am, I don't know, but all I can tell you, He'll be here until the Lord comes back. That was him. Ma'am, if I were you, I would run. There you go. Yes, that was Shrek. That was Shrek. That was Shrek at Amityville. Ian met Shrek. All of them. Well, you know what? There's always a backstory, and there's never time. But we can do. When do you want to do lashes? We can do lashes now. Yes. That he was, but he didn't have no fear, ma'am. Ma'am, if if I were you, I would run. Didn't have to tell me twice, baby. I broke every fingernail I had climbing up that mountain. I scooted up there before those big boys. No kidding. I had my little cowboy boots, and I dug the point of those boots right into the hillside, and I was up that. I haven't moved like that since 1978. No kidding. You know what? They're all kind of scary. The pumpkin story was Jack. That's the one that Ian got scared at. Yeah, that was Shrek. At Amityville was Shrek. I'm not going to show you a picture of Shrek, but if I showed you a picture of Shrek, you'd say, oh my God, that looks like Shrek, except he's not green. There you go. Sometimes people have a purpose. Like the pizza one. Yeah, you know what? I've lived, I have lived an awesome life, seriously, when it comes to this, because I just get enthralled and tickled, and I just love it all. I just love it all. Now, are you ready to do some eyelashes? Are you ready? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to do eyelashes. You like the pizza one? Ready to do eyelashes, my darling? I've worn eyelashes since I was 15 years old. Yeah, the morgue one was scary too. I've got so many scary ones, but I'm trying to take it a little easy because I've had some people write to me and say, you scare me so bad I can't watch you. Sorry, Bubba. Are you one? No. Look at these hands. Look how he has his hands crossed on my arm. Okay, my darlings, get ready. We're going to do eyelashes. Pickle juice first, though. Oh, are you still here? Oh, good, Kitten. Kitten doesn't like scary stories. And you know, we want the scarier the better. Oh, Kimberly. We want to keep everybody happy. Here's my little angel. This is you see how he folds his arm? He does that all the time. Yes, Uvu, my darling. The answer is yes, I'm going to show you how to do it. I think I figured it out how to show this. Okay, so I'm going to show you the supplies. Hang in there with me because, you know, this is Get Ready With Me. Okay, Bubba, you've got to get down, Angel. Because we can't do... I tried to put on eyelashes with him the other day. He jumped up and one stuck to the side. One stuck to the side of him. Hold up here, Bubba. Hold up. Let me bring me to the... No. Let me see if I can get him away here. Go. Honey. Where is Ian? He's a little farthead. Okay. See how I talk now? Look, I have my supplies here. No, Bubba, you're going to have to go down. Sometimes I can't take all the love. I'm serious. It's just like, hello, put them on the cat. Well, the cat had them on him the other day. Go. He's standing right over my stuff. They're not magnets. They're glue. So I'm going to show you. Let me bring my goodies to the table. Hold on. There we are. Hello. Now he's chewing on things. Stop it. You're going to have to go. Noodle, get. Okay. Shaggy the Wiener Boy. All right. Now you're going to see. Maybe we need to call Proctor that. Oh, I'm so bad. Welcome to the mess. To the beauty mess. Because I'm going to show you everything that I have. These are, I call them olive oil lashes. Because have you ever seen the cartoons where she's like, you know, and her little lashes are going, okay, that's why. Now, I like the band on these lashes better than I do on these. Because these are a little thicker. And these to me look fake, but I'm going to put them both on so you can make up your mind. You see, these are Demi Wispies, and then these are those dramatic, hello, Zelda, get a life. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you first. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you. And yes, you may see a little crepey here and there. Now, this is Laura Geller eye pencils. They come in a 5-pack. I wear them all. But I do believe, however, the older that you get, the more that you should not wear dark black because it just doesn't resonate right. It doesn't look right. My eyes are watering for some other reason. So anyway, I, in this particular case, will choose this brown. Here's a black one, and here is the brown one. Now, what I'm going to do first, and here's the one. Here it is. Here it is, the beauty. Get ready with me because we're going ghost hunting. And yes, when I go out and ghost hunt, I wear my makeup. Let me do this. I have to change camera angles. Give me a second. There we are. Okay. Now what I do in this one, I'm going to try to get close. I just go over lightly. See? Just real light before you put your lash on. Now here's my trick, what I like to do. I like a little baby wing, okay? And I make it a little heavier here. And before it dries down, you take, and see, I got short fingernails, but you can still do it. You take your little fingernail and you go whoop. You go whoop. And it creates this little wing for you. Because there's no way that I'm going to draw a perfect wing. And I can't wear those 1960 cat eye wings anymore. Believe me, I wish I could. And so you just come in here and you do that real lightly, real gingerly across there because you want a good base for your lashes to sit, okay? That's number one. Let me find the lid to everything. Now, before I ruin my pencils. All right, now, putting this back. And I'll even show you a little. Yes, the lash cam. I'm going to do this first so you can see because I really like, and I'm going to also tell you something. I see these beautiful beauty influencers, and there's something that they do that absolutely drive me mad. And that is they put their lashes on and then they touch up their lashes. And then when they close their eyes, you see all this white on their eyelashes. Stop. That looks like you went to sleep and didn't wake up. Stop it. I don't like that look. I don't like that at all. Okay, so now, here's another thing, my darlings. I use a little, these are my little tweezers, and I like this Duo glue. It's in the dark color. You always want the dark. Always want the dark. I'm going to show you how to put the eye brightener on when I get to that point. I don't know why my eyes are, could be that they're full of shaggy. I don't know. Okay, so this is what I do. First of all, you peel off your eyelash. I'm going to put one of each on. I'm looking like a crazy lady, but I don't care. And you always start at the outer corner and pull it off. And I've worn these lashes that last me a long time. You always do that. You pull it off in the outer corner. Now, I'm going to tell you, I like these because you can see the band. The band is very thin, and it looks the most natural. And I can't see without my glasses on, so I don't know. You guys could be telling me to go to the hot place, and I wouldn't know it, so that's okay. So I do have a little extra glue here. I'm going to show you how, because you got to take that off. You hold your lashes as close to the band as you can, and then you just pull. I pull, or I take it upside down like this, and you just have to scrape a little bit of it off, because if you wash them, sometimes you just can never get them the way you need to. Okay? 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 Do I have them on here? Yes, I have them on here correctly. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that they fit your eye. When you get new eyelashes and you do the little eye test and you put them on there, I'm blessed to have big eyes, and so I've never really had to cut them, but if you do have to cut them, you cut them from the outside corner. So, I wish my eyes weren't watering. Pardon me. So, I always massage my glue a little bit because sometimes it will tend to get a little watery, all right? So now you take off this little fellow right here, and let's see, let's get a tissue just in case we have a little mishap. And what I do is I like to hold my lash upside down. You hold it upside down because I don't ever put it on my own lashes, but what I do is I put it up against where my lashes go into my skin, if that makes sense. All right, so now we're going to put the glue. In fact, here's where have my well, today, if I could find my no Shaggy Evermore. If I could find, oh, there they are. Duh. All right, so what I like to do too now, Shaggy, Noodle, get. Go, Bubba, go, go. You may not help me. Go. Thank you. I like to put a little bit of glue right on the opposite end of my, and see how it's watery there? You don't want that. So squeeze it out until you actually get the glue. And this isn't gonna work. It's not coming out. I don't know why. So, okay, so we're gonna use the other. There we go. That's why I got the other here. You just never know. I haven't worn them in a long time because you know what? I don't feel the need to. So we've got some glue, and it comes with the lashes in one of these packs. It's the little Ardell glue. There's nothing wrong with that, and it kind of looks fluorescent, which is good. And it comes in this little bottle, which I think is just adorable. Trying to hold on to too many things. Oh, here we are. There we go. Now it comes with a little spatula that looks like this. And that is something that is like, I hold it upside down. And I have makeup all over my hands, so I'm sorry if that looks not nice, but that's true. Oh, forevermore, will you please? There we go. And I just put a little bit. You don't need, because most people get too much glue. You get too much glue on your glasses. And, oh, Honest Path, what are you saying, buddy? I feel like I've seen you do this 1,000 times. Thank you. You have seen me do this 1,000 times. And so you just put a wee little bit there. Can you see? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see it. It's iridescent kind of looking. Okay, now that is more than enough. Now what you want to do, my darlings, is make sure you don't have a cat that's playing with your glasses. And then you come over here and you're going to want that glue to dry. Well, I prefer lashes too, because as you get older, I have to wear waterproof mascara so that if I put it on and I curl my lashes, it stays. Because if you use, for me, if I use regular mascara, then it weighs down your lashes and it doesn't stay up, and waterproof mascara does that. I don't like to wear mascara because I have a tendency to do this, and that's not good. And this doesn't hurt your lashes because you don't want to put it on your lashes. Now, let me get this and switch my camera view. And you're going to see my green screen. Here we go. I can't see a bloody thing because I don't have my glasses on. Okay, so here we go. Oh, there's the ceiling fan. That's my biggest fan. Okay, so here we are, my darlings. Now, this is going to get tricky. You can see this. I'm going to try to do it this way, maybe. This one. Okay. I'm going to put it on with my left hand. Now, the glue should be nice and tacky by now. I can't see worth a flip. Here we are. Okay. Now you put it on, and I always put the inside corner on first. This may not, pardon me, this may not look straight, but we're doing the best we can with what we got to work with. Now you don't want to put it, you don't have to put it in place right now. Just let that sit. Okay? Just let it sit. Let it get accustomed to being there. Right? Now what you want to do is, I always rest my finger on my forehead so I'm not like, hello, gouging out my eyeball. And you grab, shoot, I cannot see. Hold on. There we go. That's so much better. Okay. So now, my darlings, you put this on your inside first. Let me get this on so Shaggy is moving the table. And then you just pat it down. And you take it off with your finger like I just did because I stuck it in the glue. But that's how you do it. You put it one step at a time. I usually use readers to do this. You see how this goes? You don't want to put it up like this, and you don't want to put it down like this. You have to put it in a way that it is right here on your lashes, and stick her on there. It should be on. This doesn't look quite, but you start with the inner corner first, and then you pat it down and you just put it on. Follow your line. See? Now you can't really see these, but it's on there. Okay? So there you go. And I always pat it on here. Now, here's what I do in order to make this look, to blend in a little bit more. I can put these on in my sleep too, but it's like, hello, not right now. I take an eye pencil and I don't go in my inner eyelid, but I just kind of go in between here. So sometimes if you leave a little gap, wait, where am I? There we are. Sometimes if you leave a little gap, it will look better. Okay? Now, Shaggy in my stuff. There we go. Nice green screen, right? So there, now I'm going to show you the eye brightener. The eye brightener is really important because I like to put that on last after I put all of my, thank you, my darlings, after I put, does it pull up? No, it doesn't pull off my, because I'm not gluing them to my eyelashes. So you can't really see these, but I can tell you what, I can't wear my glasses with them. You see how, let me see if I can get these to look. Hello, where am I? There we go. Nice nose, Zelda. All right, here we are. Now, this is the eye brightener. Where am I showing this? You can see my dirty desk. There's the eye brightener right there, okay? What foundation did I use? Maybelline Fit. I wanted to try the magnetic lashes, but I've heard a lot of people that my lashes are sparse. As you get older, they get more sparse, and they slide off, and I don't want that. So, okay, so here now is the eye brightener. Here we are, the eye brightener. So what I do, let me turn my camera forevermore. Here we are. Okay. So now, other than my dirty desk, here is that little pot of eye brightener. Okay. Now what I do with the eye brightener, I'm going to put this over here with the noodle boy. I'm going to leave this like this. Get ready with me to go haunting, right? Now this is what you do. I'd love to try the magnetic lashes, but I'm kind of scared too, because you know I've been using these for years. So, and see, these now are on, and they don't. And I'll show you how I pull them off when they get really dry. When they get really dry. So in this, my darlings, here's the little pot. I take a Q-tip. I don't use my finger. And I just roll it on the edge, just a little bit. Because here's the trick. Your muscle grows this way around each eye, just like this. And if you keep putting things on like this, it's going to train your skin even more so than what we want it to go, to be crepey under the eyes, and to be, now this is what else I do. I have a silicone scar stick. This silicone scar stick it's just pure silicone is what it is, but it's a medical grade. All right. Can you see his hand? Probably. He's over here licking around. So I take a little bit on the other end of the cotton swab. I never use these products direct on my face. And I'm going to tell you what, if the girls that do this directly and they let that stuff, I don't know what it is, but I've got a gag reflex and I just can't hack that. And I don't do it. You don't put your fingers in your product because that makes it spoil. So you just rub this on top of there, just like that, the scar stick. You don't have to use the scar stick though. I like it because sometimes the, pardon me, sometimes there we go. Sometimes it gets, there we are. Sometimes it gets a little on the crepey side. And believe me, sometimes I have to be real careful with my eyes getting crepey. So this is the silicone side. See? And I just dab a little bit on there as I'm turning the cotton swab. Then I come over with the other end. That's an odd angle of me, sorry. So I come over with the other end, and you don't go clear up. If you're older and you got crepey eyes like me, you don't go clear up to the under eye there. You start down here right at your eye socket. There we are. And that's how you do this. Now, once you do this, you let it sit. You let it sit just for a minute and let that get warmed up on your skin. Okay? Okay? It's never too late. Never too late to know about this stuff. Now, I take a makeup brush. Shaggy, oh my heck. First of all, he's turning everything on here known to man. First of all, I have a very sharp angle little brush there. And I'll go right in here and tap it. It's got brown eyeshadow on. And I tap it over the glue so it doesn't look weird. So now I have this brush. It's a, I don't know, it's a Mary Kay type brush. That's a horrible angle. I'm so sorry, everybody, but that it is what it is. And what I do now, since I have that, I go in and tap the eye. You tap it. You don't swipe. I see sometimes people are doing this, you know, la, 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 la. Your eyes are not a windshield. You don't want to do a windshield wiper because, especially if you've got crepey eyes like I do, and they get crepier sometimes, you don't want to manipulate that because your shadow will crease. It's always pat. So from now on, oh yeah, but look, help I'm haunted. Thank you. All right, so what I do now is I go in and I just tap it. Tap it because it's getting warmed up because of the heat of your skin. So you tap, 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 tap. Now you're going to let that sit. And you can see even in this light, the difference of this eye and this eye. So now, yeah, you don't want to put a lot of this stuff on. You don't need a lot of product. A little goes an absolute long way. I promise you. I promise you. It does. Okay, so who makes this? Let me see. It is there it is, my darlings. The silicone scar stick. And it is, I don't know. Look up Nina Poole. She does this. Oh, my darling, okay. My darling, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. All right, so what brand is the eye brightener? It is, and it's cheap too. That's what I like about it. There's the brand of the eye brightener. Catrice Eye Brightener. It's called Instant or Instant Awake, whichever you want to say. And there it is. Light rose. I favor the pink because I have kind of an olive skin. So I favor the pink thing. But see, even in my glasses, you can tell the difference with the eye brightener. And believe me, I've got crepey skin under my eyes. I'm not going to try to fool you. Now, when I'm done, I just take my finger real lightly and I tap it. You just tap it into place because you don't want the product coming off on your finger. You just tap it really lightly. Okay, so now let's put the other eyelash on. And Mr. Noodle, see, look at this. See, this is why I don't get anything done. You see this noodle man laying on my things? Excuse me, angel buys. I'm going to show you a little. I'm going to show you a little lipstick hack while I'm here, because sometimes I like that bare look. And I remember in the day when J.Lo stuff started coming out. Yeah, it's a big difference. It just doesn't. It just seriously, you don't have to swipe it, because when you swipe it, it starts. You spackle that crack, baby. You got to really be careful and just pat it in, because you don't. If you get up close to somebody, obviously you're wearing makeup, right? So I'm not gluing my eyelashes to my eyelashes. I'm gluing my eyelashes right to the edge of my eyelid. And I make sure I put eye pencil on, and it acts as a buffer between your skin. So even if it's nude, there you go. All right, so this is now my little hack. Where am I? All right, my little lipstick hack. In the corner of your eye, yes, I take the eye brightener because see this dark right here? I have the eye really dark, and look, and there's just hardly anything left on this Instant Eye Awake. And you do that and you let it sit. Now, right there, sometimes I will take the brush that already has a little bit of product on. You don't need much. And you just pat that in. Right there. Is that the corner or is it the outside corner? Because I do both. And if you do this, Miss Gray Hair, if you do this, you can see that it will lift. Look, it lifts your eye right up. We have to do everything that we can to defy gravity. All right, so here we are now. This is a MAC chestnut eye pencil. There we go. And it's kind of a brown, but I like it. What I do, make sure your lips are dry. Now, when I put my lipstick and my pencil on, I kind of smile a little. I grin a little bit, because sometimes things get wonky. So now, I always start at the outside. I don't start here. I draw up. And for you men out there, this should give you an appreciation of what we women do, no matter what age, to look good for you men. Even if we're haunted. Help, I'm haunted while we're getting ready. Now, here's what I want you to do. Take your lip pencil and kind of color in a little bit. Okay? It's not going to be perfect. It's going to look kind of wonky. Now, you go on the outside and you don't go all the way around because, especially when you get older, it looks kind of funky. So you do this. I always leave a little gap. Now, fingers are your best friends when it comes to putting eyeshadow on and blending and all this. So I just take my finger and blend that. Now, here's where it gets cool. I have a little cover stick, Maybelline cover stick, and I need another one, but hello, this one is well used. I don't even know what it is anymore. I don't have my other brush out here, so I am going to use my eye brush and it won't hurt anything. I take just a little bit of this cover stick. Okay. Just a little bit. Now watch what happens. You go just right here. Now you're talking. Now, finger. Give your lip the finger. Now, isn't that pretty? That is very good for a day that, you know, you're just kind of around the house, but you feel like you need a little something. Like if I'm going to go on a Zoom call, I don't want to put on lipstick, that sort of thing. Okay, now, this is my brush. I don't have my other one here. I'm going to show you what to do. If you're talking about severe, like, is it, Ruby, is it right here in the corner or is it up here in the arch by your nose? Probably right here, because a lot of women get very dark here. And I get dark there too. Okay. So here we are with this. This is a, it's either a Maybelline or a CoverGirl. It's one of the cheapy $5 sticks. Okay. You can see I've used the fire out of it, but I'm going to dig it out until there's nothing left. So here we go. Just a little bit again. And I know for those purists out there, I'm using the same brush, but it's my face and hello. Okay. So there we are. All right. So now, let's see, which one am I darker in? I'm darker in this one. You pat. And instead of trying to rub this way, you rub toward your nose. Pat toward your nose. Pat toward your nose. See the difference? Look how bright that's getting. Pat toward your nose. Always release it. Don't hold on your skin and go, because you're going to be real sorry because it's going to be too much product. So here we go. We're going to continue. Pat and toward your nose. Pat toward your eyebrow. And yes, I like to hold my brush back here when I'm doing this, because if you do it up like this, you get too much pressure, and then you can't see what you're doing. And this gives you a lighter hand because you don't need, it's a pat. You're just patting it in. See, pat, pat, flick, pat, flick, pat, flick. And you always let it set. You see how that looks? Pat, flick, pat, flick, pat, flick. Now, here's what I like to do, because I have a tendency to get dark right here around my nose, and then these puppet lines. Listen, I'm going to fight this every which way I can. I take what's left on my brush and I go around my nose. Pat, flick, pat, flick. I don't go this way. Pat, flick, pat, pat, pat. And then down here, nobody wants to date a marionette. So that's what we do. See the difference, my darlings? Now, if you have something more severe, then I would let this dry down for a minute. Don't set it. I have setting powder and I don't use setting powder because the moment I put setting powder on, it's like, hello, where did the crepes come from? Zelda, that looks ridiculous. So I don't do that. So let that sit for a minute. Now here's the deal. You take your thumb, not your finger. You take the thumb on the opposite side because he fits in there the best. And you pat. And sometimes you have to do this. Thank you. You know what? When I was growing up, I looked like Natalie Wood. I love Natalie Wood. Okay, so let's put on this other lash and I'll show you what to do. This one's tickling me. It's too long. All right, so here are the other lashes. I'm going to take one that I have worn before, and you always take one. Thank you, my darlings. You'd always take one from the outside. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. You always take one from the outside, and sometimes you have to, because they're glued on here. So sometimes you have to like do your best to pick the buggy, to pick this booger off. That didn't sound good, did it? And I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. And Petey's coming out of the box. He has a box that he likes to sit in all the time. No, Petey. Well, forevermore. Here we are. Now you know it takes me forever to get ready. I used to spend hours in front of the mirror, and I would end up not looking any different than what I do now. Maybe more painted. My grandmother used to say, boy, this one person would show up and she looked like she fell into a paint bucket. That's me. I'll fall into it. Now, okay, so here we are, my darlings. Now this is the lash that's a little bit more sturdy, okay? And it still has some of the glue. It's brand new. It still has some of that box glue, and I picked that off. And sorry, I've got makeup on my hands, so it doesn't look very pretty. All right, so you flip it over, and now comes the glue. Don't eat that, Angel. Okay. All right, my darlings, here we are. Now, here is this. Putting this on, you can see, because if you try to put it here on the end, right on the edge, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and they won't stay on because you don't. Oh my, you don't have enough glue. There you go, my darlings. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so here you are. So now you're going to put this on here just like this. And a little goes a long way. Believe me. Now, I usually use dark glue, but sometimes in a pinch, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. PD deal, no. PD pink nose, no. Everybody wants to be mom. No, no, no. This is what this man's doing, you see. This is why I can't do anything. Okay, so now you make sure that there you go. Okay, now, Petey, stop. You kitties. All right, so my darling, here we go. No, you may not sit on me while I'm doing this. Go. Petey. All right, my darlings, here. Oh, something happened here. Petey knocked me off. Petey knocked me off guard. There we are. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Now. Oh, that's nice. What has happened here? Okay. Now, this is the eye without the lash, and I'm going to put this one on. Try to. Now, sometimes I'm going to show you what I do with these types of lashes, and I'll tell you why. Pardon my dirty desk. They've got a thicker band, and sometimes you've got to do the little rolly thing. You see this? Roll it and just kind of get it more like fitting for your eye. And sometimes I will put, right, look at this. You see this man right here? Okay. Sometimes, oops, hello, fell. Sometimes I will put it, oops, wrong eyeball, girl. Girl, sometimes I'll put it right in the middle. I'm trying to see and I can't. See, I got stuff on my face. My gosh. Okay. Okay, so it's set. Now leave it there for a second. Grab your little tweezers. I'm trying to look in one phone and look at the other. Nope, didn't get. See, I don't have the right stuff to do this. This guy doesn't want to sit down. I think you get the idea. There you go. And now you can see the difference between the one side, like this one, you can barely see it. And I usually put, oops, this end is coming off here because I didn't have it on there right. I usually put mascara over them. So there you are, my darlings. The best, now obviously I would do a better job, and I appreciate you, you know, hello. Okay, so now, you can tell now that I've got lashes on. This one is that long, fluffy one, and this one is the shorter one. I actually prefer one that's in between because these have the fullness, but they don't have the length that I like. These have the length, but they don't have the fullness. So yeah. So this is what you do when you take them off. Outside, easy, easy. You grab down by the band and you pull it off. And there you go. And you can see what a difference it does with your eyes, especially with glasses. It looks so much different and better. Thank you. Sometimes I do both, Ruby. Sometimes I do both. And the reason being is it depends on how long I want them to last. Like if I'm going out on a day, the mascara will actually help hold your lashes down. I do not wear individual lashes because they tend to hurt my eyes. But and then after I put the other on, and I will take this one off before it dries because I'm going to take it off anyway. So you see, just outside corner, roll it easy, and it's off. So listen, I love it. I started wearing these because I was singing in a lot of bands when I was 15 and doing a lot of, travel and that sort of thing. So I started wearing eyelashes because it was just so much easier. And I'll tell you why there went some of my glue on the floor. I guess I'll have to get it later. I'll tell you why I always wore the lashes is because taking off mascara does a lot of damage to your under eye. And I don't want that. I basically made I basically made a deal with God that I didn't mind if I turned gray, but I certainly didn't want to wrinkle a lot. So far, he's doing great by me. Although things get a little creepy sometimes. And I do have eye bags. I hide them. Give me a second. I don't want this glue laying on the floor. Oh, son. Oh, welcome cats of all species. All right, go. Pitiful boy. Can you curl eyelashes with a curler along with your own line? Yes, I've done that too, Ruby. I have done that. I've done that. Everything in my thing, Shaggy, everything in moderation, and including makeup now. When I was younger, hello, it was like, give me the makeup, baby. But now it's like easy does it. And I feel better. I remember the time I just turned 50 when I thought, I can't do my makeup like I used to. There's no way I can't. Now, see, you can see the difference by using the eye brightener and that other, because, to me, my darlings, you do not have to spend a lot of money on makeup to look good. But make sure you get good makeup that you don't have to pull and tug and everything else. And you just use, remember, pat and flick. Pat and flick. And that's it. That's what I do. Now, I'll show you what I do for blush. Some of you have seen the blush thing. If I can reach around these boys. Shaggy makes sure he pushes everything out of the way to make room for him. Let me see, what color do I want? Here's a pretty one. This is nice and bright. This is a Wet n Wild. I think it's called Wine Room. And this is what I do for. Sometimes now I'll put foundation, just a couple of dots. I don't use a sponge. I use a brush. And I'll put it, I always use my hand as a palette. And I'll put a little bit of the foundation on my hand and then a little bit of moisturizer, not heavy, a light moisturizer, and I'll mix the two and then pat. I always avoid my under eye area with foundation because I'm going to put on other stuff, so that's why. And I mainly focus on this area, my forehead, down my nose. I avoid these two lines because who wants to date a marionette, right? How do you hide eye bags? Well, I have them and they're pretty severe. I don't know if you can see them, but when you put your concealer and your eye brightener on, you avoid that part that looks swollen. Mine are kind of on the outside, like right here and here. This eye is the worst for me. You just remember, anything light goes where a shadow is created. So if you're dealing with an eye bag, say for instance right here, right there is mine, I can see it. You don't go on top of it because it pronounces it. You go right under it where the shadow is created and you cover the shadow. Because if you can do that and pat in, it's so much better. And also sometimes I use a caffeine under eye treatment. Oh, you kitties. So here is my blush trick. And I've got this, I don't know, it doesn't hurt. It's not, I don't know what it is. The doctor said, who knows? So whatever. And I try to stay away from caffeine because, oh, they really blow up. So here's what I do for this. Here's lipstick, Wet n Wild. I put about that much on my hand. I love Wet n Wild lipstick. I'm sorry. I just do. I know they discontinue some of these things and I just hate it. Okay, so you've got this on there. You take your little thumbs together and you rub them together like this. And then you're going to have that. All right, rub them in there really good. Then you're going to have this, just like this. This is what you do, right? You see where this natural hollow is? I do not bronze. I do not carve. I do not contour. You take your hands, and here we go. See? Look at here. This automatically, and the lighting is wrong, so it's coming out wonky. But this automatically, let me turn this light out. This automatically will carve out your cheek hollows. You see that? This one is a little bit more. So instead of wiping, there we go. And that's how I do it, my darlings. I don't have fantastic. I just make it seem that way. Thank you, though. But that's how I do my makeup. And listen, a tube of lipstick will get you anywhere in a pinch. Here's what else I do. Finger, a little bit on my finger. Now, instead of trying to go zippy, 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 guess what? I grab my silicone scar stick, put it on a clean finger, just a little bit, and go in here and tap it so it blends easy. Easy does it. See what a difference that makes? It's just enough It's just enough. We're going to do it on the other eye. As the bayou is in the background, a little bit more. So my darlings, I'm going to tell you, all you really need, if you're ever in a pinch, all you ever need is a good lipstick. And I mean a good lipstick color, because a little goes a long way. And you've got a cheek color, you've got an eye color. Now let's blend it in. And there you go. I'm sorry, my eyelash tutorial, I've not done one of those. I did not realize that it was going to be very difficult for me to show you a better angle. So I'm sorry about that. If I could ever find out how to do a better angle. Now I know the pain of some of these creators that they go through when they're doing these types of videos. But there we are. Okay. Let me go. Thank you so much. But now you see, of course, you wear glasses, right? If you wear glasses, I always put I'll give you an idea. I always put my eyeshadow on with fingers. Okay. Can you please click your nails on every item before you use it? Not, oh, I know. Does that not drive you crazy? Why do people have to do that? Quit patsy fingering around. Okay. I forget what I was going to say. The tutorials. I wish I had those. I almost wish I could have done tutorials like that, right? Because it's my gig. But see, here's the thing. The eye bag trick, one of these days I'll show you when they're really bad, but I get them right here. You do not want to put any product on top of the eye bags. If you look down, they will naturally create a shadow, and you put the product right into the shadow. Okay? That's what you do. And now I got fur all over my glasses because 2 people have been rolling around on my desk. But the fact that I wear glasses, I pay attention more. But this is how I do it. Always fingers. I have a very soft eyeshadow palette. I don't like those hard ones, and I don't like a lot of glitter, although I do have a little glitter up here today. I start out with and I stop right here. I have a brown. I just put it over the eyelid. Naturally it will go into the crease. You don't have to worry. But I stop right here at the corner of my iris. And then I take the darker shade. Instead of wiping like this, because remember, everything here, you pat in your corner and you go this way. And when you pat in the corner and go this way, it will automatically blend. And you don't have to use these brushes and be pulling and dragging and everything else. What do I use? I use Pond's Cold Cream Pond's Cleanser. I like the St. Ives Apricot. It's the apricot scrub. I do that about every other day. And then for a moisturizer, well, then I use organic witch hazel that's made to be a toner. And then, pat, 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 yes. I actually sometimes will put moisturizer underneath my arms. Are you kidding? My eyes. And then I put Vaseline on top because the Vaseline holds the moisturizer in. And then I do it around the top of my lip too. I'm not a smoker and haven't been, but you know, things are starting to get a little on the creepy side, you know. So, and there we are. That's how I do it. I wish I had a better setup that I could really show you, because I mean, I'm brave enough to come on here without makeup. I don't care. I mean, it is we naturally grow older. And then, right? And then, pardon me, root beer time. I heard that Alex got arrested again. What a game. What a game. Pardon me, I've got fur all over. So my darlings, we've been on here for 3 hours. Has that felt like it? And I appreciate you putting up with me for the makeup tips and everything. I have been promising you this for 1 year and I've not done it. But I got to tell you this. I almost like the fact that I do wear glasses. And I'm going to tell you this secret, ladies, even if you don't need glasses. Get the glasses that are 0 magnification so you can have an accessory. Why? Well, first of all, they are a beautiful fashion accessory, and I have another 5 pair coming next week, so hold the phone, everybody. This is the last pair of the last 4. This is my favorite pair out of the last 4 that I got. Wait till you see the next ones. I love glasses. Now, I take a 1.25 magnification because I read a lot. I'm on the computer a lot and I read a lot. But I don't want, and I don't know if well, remember the last live I had my wire rims? Every time I wear them, I get headaches. Pardon me. And I was thinking, oh my gosh. And I realized, because I was almost debilitated this past, I got hiccups a couple of days ago. And I told my son, because he comes out here and he goes, Mom. And I said, buddy, I just feel like my head is going to pop off. And I took my glasses off quickly and it felt like my eyes went with it. And that tells me that my glasses were too strong. So I can't wear my wire rims anymore. I'm going to have to look for another one. So I don't know. I don't even know what they are. I can't wait to be surprised because I don't look, right? I don't look. I'm just happy to get them. But I'm telling you, ladies, for accessory, get the glasses. Why? Because the glasses hide a multitude of sin. There have been days that I feel like I'm packing my Samsonite under my eyes, and I'm not kidding. I'll be glad to tell you the truth. And I just feel like, oh my, I get up and I think, heavens to Betsy, what have I done, right? Because I do have I have crepey skin under my eyes. I just, you know, whatever. But I don't have any wrinkles here on the side. I'm not bragging. But if you start patting, because I'm going to tell you something. My grandmother was Italian, Irish. She was a cooker all the time. She was a cooker. She looked, when she passed away, she was 96, something like that. And she looked like she was 60. And the reason being is because my grandmother used warm, not hot, warm steam. And she would use cold cream. And the one thing that and I need another big jar, and I haven't got it yet, but it's the Merle Norman pink. It comes in the big jar. It's the pink cleanser. She would put that on thin layer and then sit in front of the steam. Now you can do that. You can boil water and have it, you know, as long as you don't stick your head down here, because certainly you don't want to burn yourself. That's dangerous. But hold a towel over your head with your moisturizer on, and hello. That is like the best. But be careful, caution, okay? caution. But when I started wearing my glasses, I noticed, well, I have to wear glasses because I don't do too much without them, because my makeup isn't right. You see, my makeup isn't right for my look without glasses, because my eyes look too far apart as far as I'm concerned, and they just kind of look empty. But you know what? You put your glasses on, and it's like, boys do make passes at girls who wear glasses, my darlings. And it's very rare that you see me unless I'm in the bed. And then I'm wearing my glasses. I fell asleep with a pair of glasses on the other night and woke up and I thought, it's a miracle. No, it wasn't. I just fell asleep with my glasses on because I was reading. Hello. But get you some glasses that are not magnified. These are reader glasses. These are cheater glasses. And get what's appropriate. Believe me, they've got excellent ones. If you go on the Talkie Tick shop, that's where I get mine. And holy mackerel, just go on the Talkie Tick shop and put in there women's reading glasses. They are so much better than what I've gotten on that other place that's like that forest. Oh, what is that called? The Amazon? They're so much better. These are my favorite. But I like the ombres. You see how those are? Oh yes, I can take this view. Well, might have been viewer discretion. Hello. The makeup tips might have scared someone along the way. Let me take this off. Thank you for letting me know. We can do that. And let me see. So my darlings, we're going to come back here and get ready because we've got our little goodbye happening. It's 3 hours and 12 minutes. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your generosity. Come join me tomorrow night live at Vale Keep. I've got a premiere. Come and join me Saturday night. I'm going to do another remote. I don't know what it is. But something's up with Nancy Guthrie and that house. And I don't know, my friends. I don't know. Something's up. But tonight just flew by, didn't it? It just flew by. I've got so many more stories, but next Thursday, I'm going to show Run again. Won't that be funny? When did I do that? Last year or the year before? I think it was last year. And then I'll comment and I'll tell you some backstory of some of that stuff too. It flew by too fast. So my darlings, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What is the afterlife like? I don't know. But all I know, it's better than here. I can see glimpses. I've seen glimpses before when my ex-husband, who passed away unexpectedly, came to me and apologized. And I'm like, wait, am I in the hot place? Because that just doesn't seem right. Okay, so anyway, it went by too fast. Thank you. And thanks for putting up with the makeup tips. Listen, my camera, my desk is dirty. My camera angles are wrong. It was a lot of fun. Of course, your deceased loved ones are in a better place. Of course they are. Absolutely. Absolutely. You do much better. Oh, thank you, ABC, my darling. Okay, my darlings. So get ready to say goodbye to everyone. I'm going to tell you, I am up to 65 pairs of glasses. And some of them are doubles. Because I don't want to not have any. You know, hello. A remote for Lynette. Yes, I want to do a remote for Lynette. Definitely. We'll see what we're going to do Saturday night. I'm not sure. But this thing with these arrests with these YouTubers, listen, I don't believe that that's fair at all. There's something wrong. Arresting these YouTubers. Listen, you know what I would do? I would get me a Badger constitutional lawyer. And then I would give everybody the Canton salute and say, get your checkbook out, because you're violating my constitutional rights. So there we are. There we are. So anyway, my darlings, I don't recommend trying to contact loved ones who have moved on. We are warned against that in the Word. If you want to read about that, it's called The Witch of Endor. I don't believe in that, and I wouldn't, because what you're doing is you're trying to jerk someone out of that place that they're in, that they're comfortable and happy, and let them be. Let them be. They've lived their life here. Let them be. It's all okay. It's all okay. All right, my darlings, you guys have been absolutely, we have 227 people between the two chats. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Here we go, my darlings. We're going to turn off the little crickets, and then we're going to say goodbye and hang out, because we know we got the end screen here, okay? So there we are. Thank you again so much, my darlings, for being here. It didn't even feel like Help I'm Haunted, but we got more stories, more tips, and more time to be together. Thanks for being so kind. You guys are so kind and so wonderful. I've got the best chat. I feel it. So thanks again, my darlings, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.
And so, the lantern fades, but the shadows remain. This story may end here, or perhaps it's only just begun. See you soon.